I hope they will still watch movies in the cinemas, and I guess that storytelling on screen, like combining pictures, music, dialogue, will never go away, but maybe it will find new forms. Maybe it's the YCR goggles, or I'm excited. I don't know what's going to happen in the future, but I think that we will continue to tell stories, and hard to say which way, which form of transport to the people we will find. I mean, somehow there's an evolution of storytelling. No? It's like there used to be the theater for a few thousand years, and people enjoyed that, and then the cinema showed up, and I think it didn't kill the theater, it added something, and probably, yeah, this evolution will hopefully go on, and maybe it's even not a bad thing, at least for us storytellers. The stories will be told and will be listened to. Maybe the industry is kind of in a new situation.
I think all the channels like YouTube, Vimeo, or like internet in general will make it more tricky, but still I think to experience the feeling of watching a film is really, you just can experience that in a cinema. Like to experience also the feelings the director wanted you to feel. It will be always different in a cinema than back home in your bed when you're watching a film on your laptop. So I guess there will always be this cinema.
I thought about that recently, and I thought also that there is a big fear they won't watch films in cinemas because watching films at home is cheaper and easier. But I thought, what can we do to change that? And I think we have to offer them something different. You know, entertainment can be at home, but cinema has to change in a way, you know, and I thought a lot about it, how it can change, like the structures of producing, and it's like Dogma a long time ago, right? They made a change and they made something new that made people come to cinemas again for a reason, because they had an ideology behind it. And I think a cinema will have to come to a point where it's going to have to think about again, from the inside, you know, the philosophy of cinema, how to change something so people would go to cinema for a reason. So there will be movies which won't be in internet for a reason also. I don't know yet how to do it, but I think it's a goal for cinema to take care of itself.
I don't know, but I think there is something special to be all together, to have this sense of doing something together with other people, with a lot of other people. I think that is older than film, and because of that, maybe it's going to, it's a kind of, so it's a way of social relationship and social need to be with other people experiencing something. So maybe it's, maybe yes, I don't know, but I think it's human.
I think people will, one way or the other, always be interested in this visual medium. Which way, only the future, we will see what happens. But and we are also changing with the technology and everything we use. For example, I've used these new glasses, virtual glasses, what I have on it, and you totally, it feels like a whole new world where you are experiencing what you're seeing while you are there. So you can turn around your head and you can see the whole city. You can turn around and you see the whole city in front of you. And I find that really interesting, and I'm looking forward to see what that will bring into cinema. As a cinema, as an audience, I think that would always continue, because sharing a story together while sitting is a wonderful feeling. It's like a scene where something happens and everybody starts laughing and you laugh with them. If someone starts crying, you feel that pain and you understand it more. That I think it will always continue, but people will experiment in a different ways when it comes to the visual part. So I'm actually looking forward to that.
Well, I don't think 10 years is such a long time from now, firstly. So I don't think there are going to be so many changes, or at least not everywhere. And there are countries that are more developed and maybe things will start to change faster, but there are other countries that things are moving slowly, not only with cinema, but with also other problems. So, but I think the VR, the virtual reality, it's starting to develop a lot, and there are a lot of fans already and trying to experiment this kind of cinema. It's a really different kind of cinema. It's entertainment, and it's more entertainment than cinema, I would say. I've just tried it a few months ago when I was in Cannes. They had this in the film market. They have this experiment, and you get to see a lot of shorts and moving around. And I think this is going to develop more and more. In some countries, it already started. There are filmmakers that began to make movies with this virtual reality. So they write the script, and they have this concept from the beginning. And so yes, things will change. There will be some changes, but I don't think that they won't be going to the cinemas anymore.
I think and hope that the tradition of the cinema will survive, even though we have a lot of new medias competing with it right now. But I think there's something very special about going to a cinema and seeing a film that people will continue to appreciate, even though they will also appreciate other formats. So that's my hope, at least. My favorite way of watching, especially films, are definitely in the cinema, because it's for me a totally different experience to see something in that dimension, just the size of it, and also just going into a cave and just being like surrounded totally by the film. But I also do watch a lot on my laptop, and I do stream sometimes, and you know, it's more accessible. Many things are more accessible that way. So for practical reasons, I do that a lot too.
Well, I hope that cinema never dies, because there is something in a big screen that you can't get in a television, in a mobile phone, or even in a big television, or even in a home projection. For me, it's something about a black box with a white screen, and I really hope that people will still come in cinemas in 10 years. And from the look of it here in Karlovy, I think that will happen, and that it will never die, really.
Yes, I do believe that people will still go to the cinemas and they will watch movies, because I think that movie is a thing that if you're addicted to it, you can never lose interest to it. So yes, I truly believe.
I think that in 10 years, young people are still going to cinema, because it's like an art form that is going to stay existing like all the other art forms. I really believe that people enjoy and need to go to watch films, like to identify themselves, to see the problems. So, I mean, it's evaluating everything, and more YouTube or other platforms in internet that people are looking more films there. But I think that there's always like this cinema experience that you want to have, and the people also want to have it. So I think that for sure it's going to still existing.
We discuss finance a lot, because it's not possible to make movies without money. And I think in between the colleagues there are people who work with crowdfunding. I don't like it. I believe more in the subvention system. Culture used to be subventioned by like counts or kings, and I admire Hollywood that they can sell a product. I think it's a really interesting and cool way to do arts, but for me, it's easier not to worry so much about it. Like, I don't want to have money in my head. So I'm happy when I somehow get it and can shoot. my film school has part of the fundings, and then there's the Bavarian Film Funds who gave a part. Yeah, and these are the two main fundings. And obviously I have people who work for very little money and support the project, or we find creative ways of heighten the production value without spending cash.
Actually, in school you learn, or you have those inputs where they show you and introduce you also to people where you can ask and knock on the door for money. But my film personally was really in an I never can say the word, unconventional way. Because I didn't know it's gonna be my bachelor film. I was filming for 3 years in my free time. I actually did everything by myself, and I was lucky that the Swiss television co-produced my film. Like this, I was able also to pay my editor. That is really also someone I was able to work with. The deal is that they're gonna show it like once at television, but it's like really during the night time, and I'm gonna be happy if there really some people really watching my film. But it's actually the deal. They do co-product the film, they give some kind of money, and then they show it once.
No, we don't really discuss it, because in school we had money from school, and so I made this movie in school, but then we lacked of money for post-production, and we had some debts after the movie, and of course we used crowdfunding. I think the first experience while you have to think about financing is when you get out of school. That's the bad lesson, a big lesson, you know. Where can you get? From what commission? Is it a regional commission, or is it a Polish Film Institute? It's like a big lesson. We don't really, I mean, we have production classes in school, and they tell us about it, but because we don't have that problem while doing our films, it's only theory. And it's different when you go out of school like me now and you try to make something which is not supported by school. Then you really have to deal with it practically.
In our case, for our film, Forest of Echoes, we, thanks God, we receive a lot of support from the Ministry of Culture of Austria and the city of Vienna and many other institutions. So we are very happy that we could do it. But of course, in every new film is again the question, where do you get the money and how do you make the distribution? In this case, we were lucky to be able to present a film in some very nice festivals and also here in Karlovy Vary, so we are happy. We are sure it's going to be nice.
When it comes to the school I went to, one of the privileges we have there is we are already financed. There is some money there, and all we have to do is come up with the idea. So thinking like that, it's a wonderful school to go to, and I love the students there. We had a lot of fun and we debated and we discussed, and that's, I would say, what made me grow as a filmmaker was the students I went to the school with. When it comes to finance, there is always a difficulty of financing your film. Money you will find sooner or later. All you have to just understand is this worth fighting for, and how long should I fight for? For example, if you fight for a film for like 2-3 years, you should maybe ask yourself, this is maybe not ready, and move on to the next one. And maybe do short films instead, or do documentaries, or do TV, so you can continue working on your craft.
You get a founding a really small budget from the school if you're at the master degree. At the bachelor you don't receive anything, and you receive like maybe 1,800 euros, and you get the equipment, the technical equipment, so it's a bit easier when you're enrolling in a school program to make films. Now that I've finished, I will try. I have a co-production in plan, and for a new short, and I will see how it goes, because we just started with the script.
We got some funding from our school to make this diploma film. And we also applied for a cultural funding from the local area where we filmed in Norway. And as for the distribution, like getting into big festivals like Karlovy, for instance, is often a very good, like a door opener for other festivals, and people here see the screenings and it can get picked up like easily. So we have already had some screenings in Norway at the big festivals there, but this is the first like international screening.
Our school has an agreement with the National Film Fund, and they finance diploma films with a small amount of money for travel expenses, people. It's not much, and a little bit, yeah. So that wasn't like a huge problem for us, and especially since I shot it, I made sound, and it was really cheap to make. So also we found money in the city of Split Film Fund, like cultural film fund, but that was like peanuts really, like small amounts. So altogether we could afford to pay sound and mainly to pay post-production. Yeah, for now we are looking for distribution. We are looking at film festivals mainly, and so we screened it in Zagreb Docs, we screened it in Split Mediterranean Film Festival, and we screened it in Nyon in Vision de Relen here in Karlovy. So we are hoping that there will be a festival life, and after that, who knows? We are hoping like just I don't know. So many of people can see it. That's pretty much it.
Actually, we financed this film through Georgia National Film Center, which is the only financing source in Georgia. And we applied with our scripts and with the director's vision and other documents, and we've got some funding from them. This was the only financing source we could find in Georgia, within Georgia. And my production company, we provided filming equipment for the director and other facilities for film shooting. We have already sent it to other festivals, and we are still sending it to some of them, which are left actually. And our film won Locarno's the prize for best feature short film. And yeah, we are still in contact with other festivals, and we are distributing the film this way.
For me, it was a bit difficult because at my school they don't like finance the films. They really support you with material, with equipment. You can edit there in the editing rooms, but they don't like give you for the production or the post-production. So I made a crowdfunding campaign to gather some money. I went to work extra, and I think that's really interesting. Now that is starting to exist, and people are understanding it also. They are supporting. Yeah, like other creatives, they're supporting other creatives, but not only family. Like it really goes in a big way, and yeah, I think it's a shame that we don't get support, for example, but you can manage it. I mean, you have to manage it. If you want to make a film, you find all the ways to make a film. It doesn't matter how. That one is a bit complicated because I am working now in a feature documentary that is going to include some footage from this film. So I am not going to distribute my film anymore. I decide to stop sending it to festivals, and I'm not going to put it anywhere online because a feature film is going to have, I want it to have more impact with the same images. So yeah, sorry, but I cannot, like, yeah.